shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an...
What's going on, fight fans? It's another great day when you love MMA. Welcome back to Matty Fight Talk. So we finally got some big breaking news as far as the lightweight division goes in the UFC. UFC 294 has been announced. If you guys didn't catch this by now, we have a massive fight card and a huge fight going down in lightweight for the lightweight championship. It's going to be the champ Islam Makhachev taking on Charles Oliveira for the second time. These guys are officially running it back. This is set in stone, going down in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be a huge fight card. It'll be 11 a.m. The main card starts in the United States. I'm not sure about everywhere else. I just know because that's where I live. So October 21st, lock that in on your guys' calendars. We have the rematch between Makhachev and Charles Oliveira. Now, I think this is a smart matchup because Makhachev, I'm telling you right now, if he runs it back with Alexander Volkanovski, the chances of him winning that fight, I mean, it would be another very, very, very close fight. But I think Volkanovski, to be completely honest, he elevates his game in every fight. He finds the things he needs to fix, and he looks better and better, especially in rematches. If Volkanovski got another crack at Makhachev, he probably would be taking that belt. So putting Charles Oliveira in there, one, it's smart for Makhachev. Two, Oliveira definitely deserves this shot at his title again. He was a pretty dominant champion after Khabib had left. He ended up taking over, knocked out Chandler, beat Gaethje, beat Poirier, very top-notch fighters in that division. He definitely deserves another shot. Just came off of a very big first-round finish over Beneil Dariush, or it might have been second round, I don't remember. First, second round, whatever. Beneil was very, very hyped up to be getting the title shot, completely eliminated him from the title contention picture. So we got Charles Bronx Oliveira taking on Islam Makhachev. This will be the second time they're running it back. Now, the co-main event for this fight card is a massive one. We got Paulo Costa taking on Khamzat Chimaev. Another very big fight. I'm fucking super stoked for this fight. One, because it's the return of both of these guys. We haven't seen them in a while. Khamzat, I haven't seen him fight in a long time. Paulo Costa, the last time he fought was when he fought, Luke Rockhold. And let's be completely honest, he completely dominated that fight. Now, this is a very intriguing matchup. Khamzat's taking on a very dangerous striker and somebody who has a decent ground game. I mean, I haven't seen Paulo have to use his ground game too much, but Khamzat is one of those world-class wrestlers, man, with vicious, vicious ground and pound. This is a very interesting matchup. It's a classic grappler versus striker. Now, if Paulo can keep this fight standing, if he can stuff the takedowns of Chimaev, we saw what happened when Chimaev took on Gilbert Burns. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he deals with somebody who hits as hard as Costa does. Now, don't forget, Chimaev has trained with Alexander Gustafsson for a long time, so he's used to very, very big, dangerous strikers, and Gustafsson's a 205er. So this might not even be tough. We might, as fans, be thinking of it as a bigger challenge than what it actually might be to Chimaev. Chimaev might go out there and honestly destroy Costa. But Costa's a gamer. He's a dog. This is a great fight, and I'm fucking stoked for it. Nasruddin Imavov versus Ikram Aliskerov. That's another big fight that's on there. Aliskerov is also a very dangerous fighter. He's 14-1, 5 wins by knockout, 5 wins by submission. And then you got Nasruddin Imavov, who's 12-4, 5 wins by knockout, 4 wins by submission. So this is a very good matchup. The rest of the main card still needs to be announced. We haven't seen too much of that. But just lock it in your guys' calendars, man. October 21st, it is going down. It's going to be an awesome fight card. I do think it's kind of a little ridiculous how Islam always gets to fight in his hometown, but it is what it is. He went into Australia and had a massive fight with Volkanovski, so you got to give him credit for that. But Abu Dhabi, man, they get some solid fight cards, those lucky bastards. Now, moving on to other big fight news. I'm sure you guys have heard about this by now, but Michael Venum Page, the MVP, Bellator's lethal striker, is currently a free agent, and he's discussing possibilities with the UFC. He states, and I quote here, he wants to see where his value is at. After 9 years with Bellator, Michael Page announced Monday that his contract is expired and he will be diving into free agency. It's uncertain where he's going to go right now, but the UFC has already listed him on the UFC roster, which is very interesting, very subliminal. I'm hoping that this man really signs with the UFC. He is already a superstar from Bellator. He's one of the most elite strikers that they have. If he came over to the UFC, his stock would go through the roof. This guy would be phenomenal. He would be an unbelievably big draw, another big UK fighter, and right now would be the perfect time to do it. I mean, he would give Leon Edwards an absolute run for his money. And we all saw what happened when Michael Chandler came to the UFC. When he was a free agent, he was a very big draw for Bellator. He ended up signing with the UFC and absolutely exploded onto the UFC scene. UFC fans, let's just be real here. The UFC is one of the biggest promotions out there. They do the best job of promoting. Whether you like them, whether you like their prices, whatever, whether you like Dana White or not, that motherfucker knows how to get fighters on a worldwide platform. Now, I don't know how much money he makes in Bellator. I don't know if he'd be taking a pay cut to come to the UFC, but Michael Page is 36 years old. He definitely deserves a shot to be in the UFC and show what he has against the best fighters in the UFC, because he definitely does a great job for Bellator. I would be very curious to see him fight guys like Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington. The list goes on. Freaking Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad. There's just a ton of fighters for this guy to go in there and have some really solid fights before he ends his career. Now, the question is, does he want to make money or does he want to get his popularity to the next level? Because that sets you up for life, in my opinion. Now, Bellator, I don't want to hate on them or make them sound like they're not doing a great job of promoting. Bellator has outstanding fighters. They're an outstanding promotion. But let's be real here. The UFC is where you want to be if you want worldwide notoriety. If you want money, you know, you're looking at Bellator, PFL, one championship where you can get all these sponsorships and probably end up making a lot more than what you would. Now, I don't want to, discredit them and say that they're not going to pay this guy a fucking fat bag to get him into the UFC, because they probably will. But the question is, does he leave Bellator? Because he could sign again with Bellator. It's just, what fights does this guy want to take? And we have seen him struggle a little bit in Bellator against some solid wrestlers. Now, if he moves over to the UFC, he's going to be facing a lot of tough wrestlers. But regardless, I would definitely be tuning in to see what that guy can do. And then the last little bit we got here is the state of where the light heavyweights are at in the UFC right now. They're kind of in a weird place. They've had two champions and both have had to vacate the title. So it's kind of leaving it in a very interesting place, because you have a matchup coming up between Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira that should be a title fight. But now what I'm thinking is going to happen is that's going to be the number one contender fight, and the winner of that fight's probably going to end up fighting Yuri Prochazka. Now, I give credit to Jamal Hill and Yuri Prochazka for both vacating the titles after their injuries, so it didn't hold the division up and it kept the money coming in. It kept these guys fighting hard and contenders getting shots. But let's be real here. Yuri definitely deserves a chance at the belt. He probably is going to get that chance. He's supposed to be fighting Jamal Hill, so they're probably going to save him as one of the fighters for the championship. And the winner of Jan Blachowicz and Alex Pereira is probably going to be the number one contender. The list goes on and on for possible contenders, because you got Magomed Ankalaev, you got Alexander Rakic, you got Johnny Walker, Nikita Krylov, Anthony Smith, Paul Craig, Ryan Spann. There is a wave of really solid fighters in the light heavyweight division, and anybody could get their shot. We saw what happened when Yuri vacated the belt. They put Glover against Jamal Hill. Now, Jamal Hill was a wild card. And the fact that he ended up winning the title probably lets the UFC think, okay, maybe we could throw another one of these, 7, 8, 9 ranked guys into this title fight. It would probably do us well, because we had success out of it with Jamal Hill. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I think Jan Blachowicz really shot himself in the foot after that Magomed Ankalaev fight. Ankalaev and Blachowicz had a great fight. It ended up being a draw, and Blachowicz, I think I said this in my last video, was congratulating Ankalaev as if he won the fight, and I thought you should have won. They should have gave you the belt. Oh man, I didn't fight how I should have fought. But, bro, it's a draw. Nobody's the champion. If I was him, I would have said the same thing. Ankalaev said, I'm the champ. I won that fight. They should have gave me my title. Now, because of that, I feel like the UFC really doesn't want to give him another title shot, and considering the fact that he's 40 years old. I think they don't want to make this a championship fight because they really don't want Jan Blachowicz to win against Alex Pereira. But if Alex Pereira wins, they're going to throw him right into a title fight. So it's a weird gray area for the light heavyweights right now. I'm just bummed out Jamal Hill got hurt because I would really liked him as the champion. But we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think is going to happen with the light heavyweight division? I strongly believe it's going to be between Blachowicz and Pereira to fight for the title. I think that's what's next. But anyway, hit me in the comments. Thanks for watching my video, guys. Don't forget, hit me with the subscribe. Hit that bell icon to be notified when I drop more content. I'll see you guys on the next one.
Haters talking shit, yeah, they breath stank. Walk up in the club, dripping like I'm fresh paint. I can see through the facade like an